Hello, people. How is everything happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Yeah. Okay, so please pardon me. I am somewhere and I had to do this recording regardless. Thank you so much for your patience and for those of you who joined in for the live session that the network didn't let us finish. Thank you so much. So I'll just be going over this as fast as possible so we don't waste any much of your time. All right, so I'll just be rolling out my slide right now and then we can begin. So this is something that I love to talk about, especially when I'm, talking about just issues of lives for, educators. I just love to talk about this subject and it has to do with leveraging social media, right, for educators in the 21st century. So for the sake of this lesson, we'll call it social media strategies for amplifying your voice and impact as an educator. Right. So I'll be moving forward to the next slide. So this is basically a table of content that just states what will just be horridly going through, right? Because we don't intend to waste any of your time, right? So basically, this is what you have on the screen. So we don't need to go over that. We'll just go to the next thing. Now, talking about social media strategies, right? I would like us to look at two main aspects. One, classroom development, and two, personal branding. And if you're someone who, you're very familiar with this space, right, you realize that you'll be noticing at what point, because I'm going to be switching between, the two, classroom development, personal branding for the two of them. So time would not allow us to go into the introduction for classroom development and introduction for personal branding. But guys, we're just going to go over it again like that. But I'm sure if you are, taking notes and your mind is on this particular lesson, you will get it. Right now, have you guys been in a space where you are pointing accusing fingers at some set of people? Especially for me, I like to tell stories, so I just include that in whatever it is I'm doing, right? So a few years ago, as a uni student, I used to be like, okay, I would tell one of my lecturers to, not tell him, oh my God, not tell him. I would be like, this is something we do behind. We don't do it in front of them. Oh my God. So we'd be like, we don't like the fact that this particular lecturer gets to, recycle notes. In fact, I won't even call it recycling. I would be like, there's no recycling because if you're recycling, some things will change when you're recycling, right? But it just, it's copy and paste from one, generation of students to the next generation of students to the next generation of students, and, we used to be very vocal about, oh, why should that happen? Why should this be the case? You're supposed to follow the trend of research. You're supposed to follow the trend of knowledge going on internationally in this space. Why are we not getting that? This and this and this and that. Guys, this blame game kind of like just turned around to bite me, bite me back, something like that. When some years after I became an educator myself, and I got into the space of, let's just do it. Is it not just this familiar thing? Why do I need to research it? Why do I need to, just, is it not one plus one, two, you know, 2 plus 2, 4, and I'm teaching preliminary math. So why do I need to research it? Guys, it's the same thing that those your lecturers or teachers, have been saying to themselves. It's not this course again. I am too familiar with this course to not know, what else can happen. It's not this course. It's 1 plus 1. Now it has to be 2. Nothing can change. Nothing can improve. But that is very, very wrong. That is very, very wrong. And this strategy, whatever it is, was proven when I had to go online and I was trying to, teach my students multiplication. It was just preliminary basic math, and I was teaching them, and I just was like, maybe I should check online. Let's see if there are internationally acclaimed simple ways, because I was looking at simple ways to teach students in low-income communities. It's like simple ways to teach multiplication, simple ways to teach multiplication. And I went online, and guys, I saw addition ways to teach. I saw ways to teach multiplication using addition. I was like, oh my God, I was so simple. It was so simple. Guys, so at some point, I just started asking myself that, okay, in as much as I'm saying my lectures used to be like this, I am to blame as well. My students have to blame me, because I got into a place where I was comfortable, I was familiar, I was like nonchalant. No, as educators, you have to always be asking yourself, what could possibly go right? What could possibly go wrong in this space? What can the dynamics be in the years to come? What can the dynamics be? Start to look at things ahead of time. Start to just, go over things and be like, what are the possibilities here? What are the possibilities in this space? Guys, we cannot be comfortable. We cannot be comfortable. Right. So it was when I said going over YouTube, going over searching certain social media platforms that are free, that I realized that creativity can be triggered. Creativity can be triggered. That's one thing that I need you to know. Creativity can be what? Triggered. Now, how can creativity be triggered? Now, all the times, most times I'll spend my time on social media, on YouTube, just, going over stuff. And there's one thing I always do on Instagram. I will go look for the courses I teach, maybe math, just I will search for it. When I search for it, when you search stuff, you input stuff in the search button on Instagram, the pages that are related to that search will come out. I start to follow. When I start to follow them, I get to go to their the notification, and I turn it on, meaning that as soon as they get to post anything, I am notified. I was the first person who's notified. So when I come on my Instagram feed, I am seeing those people appearing in my wall. Like, that's what's going on there. Okay, so most of the times when I'm just immersed with so much content that come from these people on YouTube, I go there, I'm searching for things, guys. Over time, the creativity, because when you go on YouTube, you get to see people do stuff and they put it there, and you are like, oh my God, these people are so innovative. How can they even come up with something like this, guys? The more you immerse yourself with content that come from creative minds, creative people, the more they rub off on you. And before you know what's happening, guys, you're one of those people who have innovative ideas, who have creative ideas, ready to put your stuff out there and ready to ensure that you're impacting the world, whatever it is that you know. That's just the way it is, right? Now let me tell you a story. So after immersing myself with so much content, so much ways I can improve my classroom, my students, and all that, right? I got to a point where I was, I had a problem. And that problem was that my students were not, understanding the passage. If you teach English, you know that there's a particular passage you have to use for like the entire week. You have to brood on that passage, make sure they understand it, read it. You're going to answer questions from it and all that. Now I realized that when I teach my students, when we come to that aspect, my students were not comprehending the passage. It felt like the text was a little bit higher than their age and maybe academic age, but I wasn't understanding what was going on, but they were not getting it. So I was answering the questions for them. I was helping them read the question, because most of them had issues with reading. So one thing I did was to see how I could help solve this problem. What did I do? First thing was that I said, okay, I came up with the idea of recording. It's just a textbook, so I recorded it. I said the story in a very amazing way, right? I'd be like, story. Once upon a time, there lived lion. It's a story about lion and the rabbit. So I'll just there lived lion. So they hear my voice. I say it in a very exciting way. I'll record it on my phone. So when I record it on my phone, I'll use a video editing app and attach pictures to that voice. Attach if it's and there lived lion. I'll attach a lion, picture of lion, and all that. So when I come to class, my students are watching a video alongside, then reading along the text. So I made sure that the English text came alive for them. And I have no idea where this idea came from. But I know that one thing I know is that creativity can be triggered when you are around people who come up with ideas. When you are in front of the ideas people are pushing out in the world, the things you expose yourself to matters. When you are in that space, I promise you, your own creativity juices, juices, not the juice, will start to flow. That's just how it works. That is just how it works. Hold on for me. Let me put this on charge, guys. So I'm going to be flipping this a little bit. So hold on. I'm hoping you can still hear me. I'm trying to put my phone on charge. All right, so I'm just going to the next slide. Now we're going to just be unraveling some myths that we're supposed to be talking about. Now you have to have gotten to a particular level before putting yourself out there. Oh my God, this is one myth that a lot of people, especially a lot of educators, have at the back of their minds, and I don't know why, and that thing kind of like drained. At this point, I'm like, I wish I started earlier. But earlier, what was I do? Earlier, I was sitting down telling myself it was just enough for me to, impact the people right in front of me in my classroom, and that was it. That is wrong, guys. If you have all I need to do is let me just impact the people in front of me, my students, let them pass. If you still have that orientation by now, no, tell yourself wake up. Tell yourself, Elizabeth, wake up. Oh, Agnes, wake up. Kayode, wake up. Tell yourself, wake up. Because we're in the 21st century, guys, you can do that and so much more. You can do that and so much more, guys. You can do that and so much more. You can enable your students pass. You can be the teacher that they need you to be. You can do more amazing things for them, right? So at that point, I was telling myself, oh, I just, I'm not in the job where I want to be, so I cannot put myself out there yet. I don't want people thinking I'm a teacher. Tell yourself that. Don't ever say that. I had to ask myself, Agnes, where are you now? Yes, where are you now? And the answer was, Agnes, I am a teacher right now. Okay. Where are you going to be in a few months if things don't change? If my employment status does not change, I'll still be a teacher. And so why do you want to waste this amazing season of your life saying, oh, I'm going to be hidden because I'm not in this place where I want to be? Now, people appreciate a journey, not just you come to say, oh, they do that LinkedIn family. I'm happy to announce that this. No, guys. People appreciate when they can say, oh, she was, you don't know this girl, she was like this before. Now she's. That's if you actually want to change, right? People will appreciate your journey. I promise you. Don't wait for things to get to a point where you are like, oh no, I'm not ready to put myself out there. Oh my God. I'm not ready to put myself out there because I'm not having the job that I want to have. I'm not in the level where I want to be. So I don't want people to see me. Guys, you're wasting your 2 years. You're wasting your own 2 years. Because for me, when I started working in low-income communities, I was getting to a point where I was telling myself, no, I don't want people to see me that I'm a teacher in the low-income community and I'm going to be here for 2 years. And so let me just stay where I'll stay, right? So there's no point stressing don't stress your own don't waste your own 2 years, your own 2 years of your life. Don't waste it. For my own 2 years, I had to tell myself that these 2 years I'm going to make the best use of it. I'm going to make the best use of it. The world will hear it. And even if I'm not going to be in this space, I'm going to change to something else, the world's going to hear it while I'm here. Yes, because I will do my very best and put myself out there, right? So don't wait for conditions for you to be in a particular place or level in life for you to say, oh, I'm going to move on. Don't do that. All right. So the next thing is putting yourself out there means putting your personal life on display. I laugh when I hear this, and a lot of educators think so. Now, a lot of people don't know that you control what people see. Is what you want them to see that they will see. I promise you, you control the narrative. You control the narrative. It's what you want people to see that they will see. I promise you, right? So at the time when I started my social media journey, I told myself that I'm not going to put my personal life out there. I'm going to ensure that whatever it is you see on social media is me showing you my work, who I'm doing it with, who how the work is going, what I'm doing. That's what my social media was going to be about, right? And that's what it has been. I'm not going to go on my social media and I'm wishing you happy birthday. I can do that on my WhatsApp, right? But you see Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, oh, you cannot see me saying happy birthday. I mean, that's a beautiful thing. I can do that on my WhatsApp when that's a beautiful platform for my family and my friends, my closely knit family are not good. I will pour all my happy birthdays there. But you see WhatsApp and Facebook link where everybody has access to, where people from global communities can come check you out. I don't do that. I don't do that. You either see my work when you go on my social media, you're seeing what I do. In fact, most times I pick offense when people ask me what do you do because I'm like, my social media is what I do. Like, it's on there. What I do is on there, right? You don't need to ask me. Just go on there and you're good. That is what it should be, right? That is what it should be. But I mean, there are people who are okay putting their personal life out there. Just know that you control the narrative. You decide if you want people to see your family. You decide if you want people to not see them. You decide what you want to put out there. So you putting your work out there does not translate to people knowing what is happening in your house. It does not, except you want to tell people what's happening in your house or show people what's happening in your house. That's when they get to know. So putting yourself out there does not mean, or telling your story does not mean that you're putting your data learning in public or you're putting your personal life on display. That's not what it means. Okay, let's go to the next one. Now, social media is a walk in the park. Oh my God. Aha. I tell people that you would just decide, okay, I want to be posting, I will just post selfies when I like, and all that. It will be fun, right? People just come and comment, oh, fine girl, la 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 la. And it will be fun. But the day I promise you, come and bet my hand, bet it. The day you decide and tell yourself, I am going to start doing this intentionally, right? I'm going to be serious about this thing and I'm going to make it something that I want to really see results from. The day you decide and say, I'm going to be posting, you have a social media goal, I'm going to be posting once a day. That's when you realize that it is a chore. It is hard work. It is hard work. So I'm just telling you, this is not to scare you, of course. This is not to scare you. This is me inviting you, but telling you that to be forewarned is to be forearmed, so that you know and prepare yourself. This is me telling you, giving you the information that you need to prepare yourself. Because as soon as you tell yourself, you know what, because you need a social media goal. If you're telling yourself, okay, I'm going to start posting now once in a day about the work that I do, and just taking people along a journey, just telling my story, right? The day you start doing that, that's when you see so many things that will come in front of you, so many things that would ensure that you don't achieve that goal, so many things will just come up. So the only thing that will be left for you is commitment. The only thing that will be left for you is your determination. That's all. So you need to be determined. You need to tell yourself that it's a job that I need to get done. So it is not a walk in the park. For those of you who have that myth, remove it. Remove it. All right. So the next one is the conditions have to be right. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. So at the time when I started being intentional about social media, I was working in a low income. I just started working in a low income community, and guess what? I did not have lights in my house. So what I would do is I told myself I cannot let this stop me. I've told myself now that I need to be serious about my social media journey, right? What I'm going to do now is I'm going to ensure that I find a way to get light, to get my things powered, because I'm going to do this. That was when I found out that there was this man who would turn on his gen. in the evening by around 7, we turn on his gen. I will go there and sit down, charge my things, do my social media journeys, social media. I'll do my social media posts, and everything. If I have professional development courses, I'll take them, right? So that was, I had to find a way around it. So your condition will not be, if I have seen educators who tell me my phone is bad, my camera is not good, it's not looking good, da, da, da." I promise you, the conditions would never be right. My own rule of thumb will always be start where you are. So don't think the conditions will be right. The conditions will not be right. Will not always be right. Okay. So you just have to move the way it is. You have to just find a way around it. Okay, to make things work. So the next thing has to do with, we're just going to go over the benefits. Um, okay, so we're about the benefits quickly. Right, so benefits of putting myself out there. So the first thing I'd like to talk about the benefits of putting ourselves out there for the pupils. So when I started telling my story, I started going on social media to be, oh my God, now I work with these children and this is what's happening. These are the challenges, these are the ups, these are the downs. That was when it was not up to 2 months. I realized that I had, I had garnered a lot of people, a lot of support from people all over the world. They were excited about the work that we were doing. They were excited. They were like, "We love what you do with these children. How can we support you?" And I was like, "Oh my God!" In less than in less than 2 years, we had raised something less than a million naira cash donations from different parts of the world. People saying, "Oh my God, this is how I'm going to support you." Some people were like, monthly, can you remind me to send something to help the work with these children? We stocked our food drive, our food bank, you know. It was just a lot of things going on at the time. So next thing was that we started, getting into competitions, through people who knew what we were doing. So there was a particular time I saw a link from someone who knew that, okay, I was telling my story, or I was in this particular place doing stuff with children. So she sent me a link that there's this organization that was doing a competition for children, and she saw that I was posting about children, so I should give it a try. So we did give it a try, and my student won a laptop from that competition. So the next thing was, there was a particular time like that. A particular robotics, a software engineering company reached out to me on LinkedIn to say, "Oh, we love what you're doing. We'd like to teach your children robotics for free." And we thought they were joking until they actually, came all the way to Djibouti, to find us, and they came to the school and they actually taught my students taught my students robotics for free. I was just really surprised because I was like, "Oh my God, what would have happened if I did not actually tell the story? How would I reach this person? This person just knew us only on what LinkedIn. How would I reach this person? I could have even figured out who this person was in the first place. How would I be able to raise? In fact, we got a scholarship for one student, and that scholarship came from somebody who had been seeing our work, reached out to me to tell me, and there's this other man, he wants to bless one child, and he's looking for someone who really has a need. So he reached out to me, and I'm reaching out to you. So imagine that we didn't put ourselves out there. How would these people reach out to me to say, "Oh, we are seeing the work that you're doing"? How would Isaka be able to get the scholarship? It would have happened. I would just concentrate in teaching them in the 4 walls of my classroom, and that's all. How will I raise a 1 million naira? No, it's not possible. People that reached out to me on LinkedIn to teach my students robotics, how would that happen? The scholarship, how would that happen? It wouldn't have happened now. It's not possible. Me just doing my thing in front of just in the 4 walls of my classroom. Only the people that have physical access to my classroom to see what I'm doing, right? So talking about personally, guys, I've had scenarios where I reached out to, not just reached out, I just even traveled all the way to Jos, and I'm getting people telling me, "Oh my God, on the road, they are telling me, are you not the Agnes, the teacher?" I'm like, "Yes, And they're like, oh my God, you're doing amazing work with these children. And I'm like, oh my God, this son, and I live in Lagos. This someone who, I mean, is in jobs. So just imagine that kind of thing. Just imagine that kind of thing, right? And then I've seen scenarios where people reach out to me like, okay, can you be on this program? Can you be on that program? In fact, Abdulatif had to reach out to me via LinkedIn. I didn't know him from anywhere. If I had not been putting myself out, would you think Abdulatif would know who I was? No, he doesn't know my house. He doesn't know my classroom, right? So, guys, if we don't put ourselves out there, nobody will know what we're doing. Maybe the people who physically come to your space will know what you're doing. But I promise you, half of the things that I was able to do, I would not be able to do that. I wouldn't have been able to do them if I was just focused on saying, oh, I'm just going to teach in my class. And that's all. In the 21st century, an educator can be an educator and more. In fact, so much more. So much more. There's so much to be, a teacher. And in as much as I'm trying to just wrap this up, I'm doing a workshop for educators, right? And if you're interested in it, let Abdulatif know this is a crash course. You can see I'm just trying to, put everything together and just, make it a sandwich, right? But we do training for educators who are like, okay, these things you are even saying, okay, practical. What do we do? First step, okay, go and move that blurry thing that you have there on your profile. Remove it. Why do you have too many different names on social media? You are Kelechi on Instagram and you are Ngozi on LinkedIn. Why is that? You want people to Google you and they can see your name come out. When you Google yourself, what really comes out. Just like we really take people, by the hand to say, oh, this is what you should do, this is what you should do. Okay, so if you're interested in that, please reach out to Abdulatif and we would know how we can help you because this is us holding you by the hand to be like, all right, so what do you need now? Your Instagram is not looking good. How can we help that? Help you with that. Your LinkedIn is not looking good. How can we help you with that? So that you can make more impact. As an educator, there's so much you can do. There's so much you can get. There's so much you can get. At this point in time, I've been able to raise nothing less than 3 million naira plus in less than 2 years. In less than 2 years from social media and especially LinkedIn. So I don't have the time right now because I'm already counting down for time. I was given only 30 minutes. you know um so there's so much, guys. There's so much. Okay, there's so much. So in conclusion, guys, I like to tell people that my educational career is divided into two. The aspect when I just really concentrated on my classroom and saying, I told myself, okay, once you're able to get the students, to excel, that was it. And then at the point where I told myself I can be an impact inside and beyond my classroom. And I know the benefits I've been able to reap from just doing the second, aspect, the second category, the second division of my educational career. And guys, the social media platforms are free. Let's utilize it. Thank you so much. My name is Agnes Onyegrejusu, and I am waiting for you on the other side of the feedbacks. Thank you. Bye.